Hey, I'm going to share something with you that I've actually not shared with anyone before. Only in a comedic type video. It's about my hair, and it's about self-esteem. And if you watch me, see me, photos, videos, I have really, really curly hair, and I have not always liked my curly hair, and has affected my self-esteem. And at school, I was teased a little bit about my hair, and I really hated my hair because I didn't feel like I was one of the pretty girls, one of the girls that the boys would look at. So I actually, I'm going to get emotional. Bringing back memories of me and my confidence, or lack of confidence in some areas. And it's interesting because if you look at my family or speak to my family, they'll say that I had all the confidence in the world, and I wasn't a shy person, and I was a go-getter, and of which I was. But it's interesting how I felt inside. And a lot of it was to do with my hair. And back in the day, it wasn't to do with perms were in, like curly perms were a thing, and they were in. And so this was something that I'd always, and I'm going to use the word hate, because I always hated my hair, and it really did affect how I operated as a person, how I operated with the opposite sex, and how I shared myself physically as a person with people, men and women. And a lot of it was to do with my hair. A lot of it was to do with my hair, and a lot of it was to do with my breasts. So if I'm going to go that little bit deeper level, that's what it was about. So my curly hair was really curly and fluffy and frizzy. So keep in mind the frizzy bit. And then my breasts weren't the big breasts that a lot of the other girls had. And it's really interesting because, I look at I've got two girls, and I look at them, and they don't have lack of self-confidence in these areas. They both have beautiful hair. They don't have the curly hair. They've got wavy hair. They don't have the curly hair that I have. But it's actually taken me all this time, all these years, to grow into my hair and to really love my hair. And it's what it is. I've just brushed it out. I don't brush my hair. If you have curly hair, you'll understand that you don't actually brush your hair. And if you look in my sink here, where is it? Can you see it? That there is the hair that I've just brushed. Here's a brush. This is the hair that I just brushed out from brushing my hair, because before I head into the shower to wash my hair, because otherwise, even when I put the conditioner on, it's so knotty, and I don't use a comb, so I just use my fingers, and I have a really sensitive scalp and grey hair these days, and it hurts. But interestingly, and this brush, I got this in sort of a show bag, and other than that, I've not owned a brush in many years. But I have had this thing inside me basically my whole life about my hair, and how much I hated it, and the frizz, and because when you brush curly hair, it looks like this. And so the curls aren't defined, and it just goes into like this triangle shape. And that's why I don't brush my hair. Again, if you are curly haired, you will understand, empathize with me. And even now, if someone came into the room now and said to me, blah blah blah, oh, look at your hair, oh my God, look at that, I would immediately take it as a negative, and the old me would well up with those feelings of lack of self-confidence and anger. I'll share with you that, and I was living with a guy at the time, my beautiful boyfriend at the time. He has seen me have temper tantrums with throwing brushes because I absolutely hated my hair. Now, my hair's been on a journey, short, long. had lady dye hair in the day, and then now in the last few years I've had quite long hair. Had it cut shorter recently, only because it's just quite difficult to manage, and I get hot with so much hair around. And I've got good product these days. I think I've kept the stores in business with all the product. Curly hair is, you've got to maintain it. It's dry hair, and only wash it once a week because it doesn't get oily. But on the self-confidence level with those two things, hair and boobs, most of my life I've been really conscious the fact that my boobs aren't that big boobs. And then you speak to people with big boobs and they say they wish they had little boobs. And then you speak to people with straight hair and wish they had curly hair. At least I have the option of having straight or curly hair because I can straighten it. But self-confidence wise, my hair has always been something that has brought me down, but not anymore. So it's interesting how we can grow into our skin and grow into ourselves. And, from a man's point of view, with regards to losing hair, does that affect your self-confidence? Has it affected your self-confidence? Going grey, how does it feel going grey? Whether you're someone that is that goes grey, had gone grey really early. So, my hair journey has been a big one for me, and I still feel if someone did comment on my hair, that I'm very sensitive to it. So these days I just talk to myself very quickly if that happens, and I say, Penny, it doesn't affect who you are. Your hair is your hair, and I could shave it off altogether and not have the hair. But the people that teased me back then, they're not in my life. But it's interesting because we bring all of these things forward into our very adult life, and unless we let them go, they are going to stay with us, and we're not going to move forward. So anyway, it's an interesting discussion to have inside our circle. See ya.